Hello, hello. Oops, there we go. All right, it's Tuesday. Got some Tuesday tips for you. Here we go. Hello. Today's topic is all about kids' artwork, art storage, pretty much everything that goes into organizing kids and all of their documents because they always come with so much. So we're going to be breaking down a few different ways to organize the kids' artwork. Here they are. Hold on one second. I was almost ready for this, but I forgot one thing. Okay. Here we go. Yay! Organizing kids' artwork. The biggest piece that you need to do with the kids' artwork is figure out where it's going to go as soon as it comes in the door. This is like number one cardinal rule when it comes to organizing the artwork. When you have a designated spot for it to go, you are it's going to be so much easier for you to keep everything together. Like in one spot, the kids are going to know exactly where things need to go. Everything kind of has like a rule, a structure, a specific point in which it needs to go. For many of my virtual clients that I've been working with recently, we have had a tray or a bin right when you come in the door where they hang up their backpacks, they empty it and put the papers right there. Another option is some kind of container or magazine holder in order to contain those papers. You can also use wall organizers, like the file folding that goes on the wall. You can also use that as well. You just need one spot, not many, one. Pick one specific spot for the papers to go. Once you've done that, then teach your kids, this is where all the papers go. Everything needs to go in this one spot. It will help immensely when it comes time to doing the next step, which is deciding what to keep. So when it comes time to deciding what to keep, I don't recommend doing it as soon as the kids bring it home. As soon as they bring it home, I love it. Hang it up. I'm going to talk about some storage options of like how to store and display in a little bit. But if we are talking about, sorry, I'm getting like this glare right in my glasses and it's driving me insane. So as we are, going through and deciding like where the artwork's going to go, you either display it or it goes in its designated spot. So pick one of those to start. Then you're going to go through and decide what to keep. Typically, I do this and I recommend doing this on breaks. Like any typical break in school, in your routines, if things change or you want to change stuff up, then change that routine and go through and sort the papers. So I have one question that you have to ask every single time you declutter kids' artwork. I'm not going to tell you what that question is. I have a video on it. So I am going to put the video down below where you're watching this in order to figure out if you ask that one question. Because I can tell you the question, but the problem is there's so much more behind it. So to ask yourself that question, along with a bunch of other questions, I have a ton of decluttering questions, and they always apply to kids' artwork. Another thing I have is free, and it is a artwork flow chart. So what this is, it is a chart where you ask yourself questions and you go down the list to see if you should save something or if you can display it or if you can turn it into a picture book, which is our next thing. So we have a designated spot for all of the papers to go. Now, sometimes the kids are just so excited that they want to display their artwork. So, we need to come up with some ways to display the artwork so that the kids can truly appreciate it. You can't, recycle or throw away things until your kids have truly like been able to showcase and be proud of their work. I never want kids to be discouraged and to not keep something or hold on to something because they felt like, oh, well, my mom just throws everything away. I have this story. Oh my gosh, it just broke my heart. So I had a client who would just always recycle all of her kids' artwork. Oh, this is beautiful. And then throw it in the recycling bin. Well, the mom told me that her during parent teacher conferences, the son just stopped doing art and stopped drawing and stopped taking everything home, just kept throwing it away. And the teacher was like, "Well, why are you throwing everything away?" "Well, my mom just throws everything away as soon as I get home. She doesn't want to keep any of my stuff." And it broke my heart because while we as parents need boundaries for ourselves in order to keep things, organized and situated, I would never want to impose that on my child. I want them to learn those skills for themselves. So I am encouraging you to allow your kids to display their artwork, to be involved in the process of deciding what to keep and what to part with. And this free flow chart, really, that's the point of it, so that you kind of like walk through the thought process of deciding what to keep. Um, and so when you decide what to keep, what not to keep, you also can figure out where to store your particular items. Um, so there are many ways you can display kids' artwork that isn't always like taping it up to the wall. So my favorite way, I created some DIY picture holders. Um, they're just old picture frames, and I took a clothespin, hot glued them onto the picture frame, and then stuck them up on the wall using 3M Velcro strips. And then my kids can display all of their artwork. When there's too many pieces on there, when they open up the paperclip and everything falls down, because you can usually like put your hand up as you put the paperclip and like slide the picture up. When it becomes too much, that's our sign. Okay, let's go through this and decide what are we keeping, what are we not keeping. Um, We've also created clipboard walls. So you get a whole bunch of clipboards and you line them up on the wall, and then the kids can add their artwork to the clipboard. Now, the big chunky clipboard doesn't work well for really little fingers. It's the little springy piece that does. But if you are fine kind of taking more control over this and helping them hang stuff up, then the big chunky clipboards also work. Use 3M hooks just to stick them up. They can also take them down to put the paper on and then hang it back up. Or nail, like so many options with the clipboards. And I love that because then the next piece of artwork can just go right on top. And so you can keep stacking them until it gets too full. And then that's your sign. Okay, we need to go through and decide. But you have a designated spot to display the kids' artwork, which is so important. Another fun thing is to use artwork frames. So they are thick frames that you hang on the wall and you open it up so that you put the picture in and then close it and then put the next picture in and close it. So you never have to take the frame off the wall. You just open and close the little door on it. They are on Amazon. I love them. I've had clients use them. They've worked wonders. The only piece of advice I would say, watch how often the kids open and close. The little attachment piece to like close it is fussy, and so it can fall off easily. I've had clients do that, but then they've gotten creative and put like bungee cords around it and stuff. So if you have kiddos that like opening and closing things, put it higher up so that you have more control over that situation, and use something else for them that would be far more beneficial for them to display their artwork. Another one of my favorites is to use wire picture holders with clips, and then you can add put in small hole punches and then add more pictures so you can get a whole string of pictures on one piece of wire. I love that option as well. It all depends on the space and your kids. These are things that like you really have to figure out what and how your kids like to display their stuff. Um, my kids love flipping through things quickly. So we've done the wire picture holders, we've done clipboard walls, we have the picture frames, and all of those things are like my go-to for everything because they work. The kids can take ownership of them, and you don't really have to worry about deciding or figuring out, what to keep, what not to keep, because they have more control over it, which is what I like. Because when they have more control over it, they're going to be far more comfortable parting with the things. So everything's piled up. You got a big old stack. It's now, spring break. Great time to sort through things. So, spring break, we're going to go through all of the artwork and we're going to sort them into piles. What we are going to do, we are going to have our keep pile, the stuff that we want to keep in memory bins. We have our photo pile to turn into, there we go, turn into a book of all the artwork. And we have our recycle pile. And those are the pictures we no longer need or feel like we have to keep. So I get the kids involved in this and I do it at normal breaks. Like we do them so that they can go through, sort, and decide. The reason why I like waiting until well after the artwork is already drawn, painted, created is because the kids can see their progress that they've made over the course of however long they've been working on their art. So listen, my daughter, my son, here we go. So my son loves sharks. He would sit for hours and just practice drawing, practice drawing, practice drawing. So when he saw his big, thick stack of sharks, we were going through them, he was like, well, this one's my best one from when I was doing all of these, in blue marker. This one's my best one from pencil. This one's my best one. So he felt more confident keeping the ones that he determined were his best ones based on, some of these are upside down, based on when and how he was drawing it. Which is why I love getting the kids involved in this because it helps them immensely decide what they want to keep and what not to keep. So these books that I created are from Chatbooks. I do this every year. See, they have this is Adley's artwork, 2017, 2018. This is Eli's from that year. Where's their other artwork? Oh, I have all sorts of books. So I make them in Chatbooks. And you get a code. It's called, hold on, let me make sure I'm telling you the right code. In Chatbooks, share CB Chatbooks, and you get 20% off from me based on Chatbooks. So if you use that, 20% off at checkout to create these beautiful books. They're perfect for kids' artwork. I love it. So to create these, I'm going to walk you through the process we use that I recommend that I know works. So you sort the papers into the piles. You do the ones you want to keep. And I have papers I want to keep, and the kids have papers they want to keep, and they don't always match up. So in my bin, my memory bin, I have papers of the kids that I want to keep that personally are for me that I love. I'm not going to force that on them. That what I want to keep is my thing. What they want to keep is their thing. And so we keep them separate. So they have their pile of keep, they have their pile to make pictures, and they have their pile to recycle. They go through them. Sometimes it takes them longer, sometimes it doesn't. So if you use more breaks, like, oh, we have a half day. So like my kids have a half day on Friday. Guess what we're going to be doing? Going through their artwork. So on those random days that throw off our schedule a little bit, we're going to go through the artwork. So it's not a giant pile of stuff. Then all of our recycle pictures, we recycle. All of our keep pictures, we put in our memory bins. all we're left with are the pictures that we're going to turn into books. So to turn them into memory books, I have a piece of tag board or like just big white board. I put it either in front of a giant window or uh, just like a lot of light, like a lot of natural light, not a lot of like direct sunlight, just like a lot of indirect light. So the sun is now, well, it's cloudy, so today it doesn't really matter, but the sun is more over here. So I'd take pictures on that side of the house. I had to think about that for a second. So I'd take pictures on the other side of the house where I'd still get light, but it's not going to be overpowering. And I lay the picture down on my tag board in front of the window, natural light. I stand over it with my phone, make sure I'm not shadowing anything. And then I take the picture and I save that picture to a folder on my phone called Eli's Artwork and then the year. I do that for the next picture and the next picture, and I do it for all of the pictures. And I save all of those pictures on my phone until I'm ready to make the book. Then in the Chatbooks app, I can then upload the entire folder for his artwork. I can put them all in the Chatbook, boom, boom. I do a quick like go through. Obviously, I didn't with this one because like most of the pictures are upside down, but it doesn't really matter. You know why? I can turn the book. It's fine. Um, the point is, I got all the pictures. We created the book. And then now all of these pictures that would have been a giant stack are now in a book that's this big. We can recycle, we can give away, we can use the paper as wrapping paper. Love doing that for friends, using some of their old artwork and then just taping it all together as wrapping paper. It's great. And then we have a book of all their artwork instead of giant piles of stuff. So I highly recommend doing that. Share CB and 20% off Chatbooks when you check out. It's the best. I also do this for photos as well, kids' photos. Just link them all up. All trips that we take, also turn them into Chatbooks. They are my favorite. Even like special events, like Eli got to go to the Shed Aquarium for his birthday. I think it was like 4 years ago now. So all the pictures, we made a special little book for him of that special day. So I love creating small books because it's easy for the kids. They can see everything. They love it. There are a lot of artwork book options. I personally like Chatbooks the best because I think it's the most cost-effective option for artwork that, doesn't fall apart. I've tried the ones from Apple and didn't really love those. The pictures would all like fall apart, I didn't really want to spend a ton of money. Archive is an investment for kids' artwork. I've used that. The book quality is great. Picture quality is great. It's pricey. So for me, this was the best option. And this is what I'm going to keep recommending because I know it works. If you have a book system that you like and that works for you, keep using that. Don't change it up. Use what works for you. If you don't have one, try Chatbooks. Okay, so making the memory bins. I have an entire video on how to create sentimental item memory bin type of thing. Pretty much every family member gets their own, and in that they are the ones that get to decide what goes in, what stays, all of that fun stuff. It isn't for you, it is for them. Your bin is for you. So as you're going through your kids' artwork, decide what you want to keep for you and put that in your own memory bin. So, I have more posts, more videos about kids' artwork. I go into more depth about what to do, how to organize them, how to store them, all of that fun stuff. And the reason why we, kind of go about doing kids' artwork in this way is I want the kids to like really process how to go through things. I want the kids to understand what to keep and what not to keep. So Your job for this Tuesday tip on kids' artwork is to create a designated spot for all of their artwork to go, have a designated spot for their artwork to be displayed, create a system for going through the artwork, find different dates, times, whatever works for you in order to go through all of their artwork, and then create books with the stuff you don't need to actually have in front of you. You can like make the book. The other stuff should go in the memory bin, and then the remaining stuff can be recycled. I would check and make sure you can recycle some stuff, like some paintings and paste and stuff can't always be recycled in every area. So make sure, do a little research on what your city, town, village will accept in regards to recycling, because you never want to like throw that off. You can also turn it into wrapping paper. One of my favorite things to do is turn it into wrapping paper. So I have tons more resources for you. I have the kids artwork flowchart. It is just questions you ask about a piece of artwork. You do it for every single one, and it'll tell you through the flowchart, do you keep it? Do you take a picture of it? Or do you recycle it? And it's all based on yes or no questions. Completely free on my site. You will love it. Also, if you have my 10 cheat codes for kids, it's included in the 10 cheat codes because I think it's one of the best resources to walk the kids and you through going through all of the kids' artwork. So make sure to grab that too where you're watching this video. And as always, I will see you next Tuesday where we are going to, what are we talking about? I don't even know. What are we talking about next Tuesday? We are talking about, what are we talking about? Fridge, cleaning the fridge. Yay! So we're going to be in my fridge. Oh, I hope it's clean. Well, if not, you're going to be cleaning with me. That's what we're doing next week. Yay! So it'll be some great spring cleaning too, because right now everyone's kind of in like the spring cleaning mood. So it'll be perfect. We'll go through fridge organizing. I'll have some of my favorite products. Come with any questions that you have. And I will see you next week. All right.